This is Alizabeth Leng-Barton of Certified Credits Talk Data to Me podcast, live here at our last podcast of MBA. I am joined by Jen Peachman, the manager of strategic relationships at Capacity. How you doing, Jen?
I'm fabulous. So excited to be here with you today.
We are so excited to have you. I know this is going to be a fun, data-driven conversation.
Absolutely.
So tell us, how's the conference been? What have you experienced?
It's been fantastic. We've had a ton of meetings, a couple really great events. I think despite kind of where the industry and the market is right now, I think folks are really reevaluating how they're going to make some strategic changes for the future. And we just love being a part of those conversations.
I feel like there have been a lot of really good conversations happening.
Yep.
I've been noticing, we're all talking about it's not a great market.
Yep.
We know that.
We know that.
But there is so much positivity still. We're all still kind of holding on to what we had last year, that glass half full approach.
Right.
But I think that that's really going to help a lot of us weather the storm that we're approaching.
Sure. I think, it's been a crazy couple of years in the mortgage industry, right?
Yeah.
We knew that this downshift was going to happen.
Right.
I don't think we realized how quickly it was going to happen. It's been interesting. Since September 1,
right.
It's been pretty tough for the lenders out there. I think I've seen a lot of folks right size once, twice, a few times. I think, going into 2023, it's really going to be how can you scale your business and provide support without adding bodies to the problem. I know that's something that we always do in the mortgage industry, and right now we're seeing,
and it's something we hate to talk about. We hate to talk about.
It's not fun, right?
Yeah.
And it's costly, it's expensive,
right.
It's a cultural impact on your organization. So I think, as folks are looking at automation and AI as a solution to scale their growth of their teams without actually having the human beings behind it, this is one of those industries that it's so relationship based, and it's so important for folks to really connect with others in the industry to see where are the opportunities to make those changes in my business.
Right. And that's such a good transition into what we're talking about today. We're talking about how will AI and automation change the way we are working inside the mortgage industry? Because I think a lot of the changes that we make over the next 6 months, 1 year, are really going to impact the future of mortgage.
I think automation and AI is going to be fundamental to the changes for our industry in the future. We are one of those industries that is so many years behind the rest. And we've seen in the era of COVID, technology has increased 7 times over in 1 year because of the need to innovate during the pandemic.
Absolutely.
I think as organizations are looking to automate, I think everybody has the interest to automate. It's where to start. Right. And I think AI is one of those buzzwords in the industry. There's certainly a lot of companies that claim to have artificial intelligence. Then there are ones that really truly have artificial intelligence. So I think,
just real quick. Definition, AI is...
It is artificial intelligence. That's essentially what it is. So it's using machine learning, natural language processing to make sure that you are using the brain power of artificial intelligence to eliminate the need of having human intervention in certain circumstances. So it's funny, as we're Capacity, our mission is to help teams do their best work. And we do that through our AI support automation platform and through automation. And a lot of our customers come to us initially saying, I have teams that are being inundated with questions and folks looking for information. We have so many disparate systems of record, data's all over the place. How do I ensure that my teams have access to the information that they need within seconds so that they can focus the hours that they're working in their day to actually do the real work?
I think that's really interesting because when we talk about technology and we talk about automation, that's exactly what we're looking at. We're looking at reducing costs, reducing hours, allowing your team to spend more time on building business rather than originating that loan. So like when we talk about a VOE or a credit pool, we're automating a lot of those processes. So when you're seeing lenders use this automation with Capacity, what trends are you guys seeing?
We are seeing thousands and thousands of questions coming through our bots every single week for our customers. So think of the time when someone interrupts you during the day because they have a question. They're looking for something. You're stopping what you're doing to answer their question. You're looking for the information to provide to them.
Yep.
Then you have to retrain your brain to go back to focus on what you were originally doing.
Right.
You're talking about probably about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
On average.
Right.
Just from someone having a question or looking for information. For me, I would love to see more folks having their high value resources stop wasting their time on low value tasks.
Right.
There are so many things that humans don't have to do, right? Check the box, move the file along.
Push the button.
Push the button, move things forward. How do I automate and kick off, notify this person when this happens, send an email automatically, click this box in the system and move it to the next milestone. That's where folks are really looking for solutions. And it's exciting to see because I think
allow those people to be more free to build those relationships that you're talking about.
Yeah. And you know, in down markets, this is where the best innovation happens, right?
Yeah.
This is right now, it's likely out of necessity. But I think ultimately long term for folks to scale their business, if they aren't looking at automation or if they're not exploring AI, they're already a few steps behind.
Right. Well, and if you think about the other industries, I mean, I came from the tech sector and AI was built into everything we did. Every conversation we had with a customer was about AI. It was about automation. It was how do we make processes easier? Because a lot of these processes can be done without our input, as you're saying, but then we then have the opportunity to do more high level thinking.
Absolutely.
We have more time to think about how do we cut back costs without cutting people? We have more time to think about how do we get more customers in the door without cutting people? And some of these things can automate that process of getting customers in the door for you. I mean, a good example is there are several products, including our own, that they go and automate the process of customer retention. It lets you know when your customer is shopping. So while you have that tool, you have to be that human element still. You still have to reach out. So we're not necessarily replacing humans. We're making the job of the human more human and allowing.
I call it supercharging your workforce.
Yeah, I love that.
We've crunched the numbers. The average American worker spends anywhere from 6 to 8 hours a week looking for information, resources, or data within their systems.
That's crazy.
Think about it. That's almost one full business day.
So you're losing a day a week.
How much more work could you do if you had a whole day in your work week?
Well, a lot. And don't let anybody know that because I'm not working on Saturdays too. But that's crazy. Well, I think that's a really good place to start if you're a lender. Start evaluating where do you have those inefficiencies. So when you guys are starting to work with lenders, is that where you guys are starting? How do you guys get this process going?
We normally start with our folks either with our support automation platform, either internally or externally.
Okay.
About a third of our customers are internal, a third external, and a third are both.
Okay.
Once folks start using our support automation platform, then they start thinking about, can I automate this? We're working with a lot of our customers to help to automate the onboarding process for new LOs, right? So not only do you have this great technology that's going to empower your teams and your new LOs to get the answers and the information in seconds, you're going to supercharge their onboarding by having that automated, reminding them, providing updates along the way, and then they're not sucking the resources of their management staff. Right? I've talked to so many lenders out there that, the VP of lending is spending time answering questions for their sales managers or their LOs. Why?
Because they don't have something in place that can handle that.
Exactly. Right.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, so Jen, looking into the next year, we've been asking a lot of people, what do we expect to see in the tech space with automation and AI? What do you expect to see in the next year?
I expect more folks to pull the trigger. I think a lot of folks right now are exploring their options, right? I think not a lot of folks are in the spend mode right now, given the market.
Understandable.
That being said, depending on what economist you're following or you look to, it could be, second quarter things are going to be looking better. It could be at the end of next year. So what are you doing now during these past couple of years with crazy volume? You've seen the bottlenecks. You've seen the issues. You've seen those stop gaps in your process. So for me, I like to see folks start talking to more people, exploring your options and really understand, how can I bring multiple technology providers under one roof too? Why am I paying multiple bills when I could have one provider for all of that under one house? So
very interesting. interesting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bumpy, but I think, I'm thinking back to the last mortgage crash of, 2008. That's when some of the best companies were started and formed and are now powerhouses. There's certainly going to be some more M&A along the way. And I think as companies are looking to bring together two teams, that's an even bigger use case for automation and AI.
And how do you bring those processes together?
Absolutely. And how do you make sure your teams have information and resources based on where they are in that transition, right? So it's going to be a wild ride for sure over the next 14-ish months. Yeah. But I think, as folks are exploring, the nice thing in the vendor space with is I've not heard no from anyone yet. So that's encouraging to us. I think partnering with the right technology and solution providers who are going to work with you along the way and provide that ROI calculation for you and really be a solution for you to scale up that automation along the way is where folks need to be.
Someone dedicated to your success.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the biggest things that's come out of this conference is a lot of people are talking about how do I find the right partner that's dedicated to my success.
Absolutely. And I think, my job in strategic partnerships is really to identify other vendors that we can partner together to help our shared customers. And I think that's what I'm really excited about in these next 14 months or so is to see how vendors can work together better to help our customers as they navigate what's next for them.
Well, and thinking about what's next, we're talking about right now there's a really high cost to originate a loan.
Absolutely.
And whenever your vendors work better together, you're able to work better and more efficiently as a lender and reduce those costs. So lots of opportunity there.
There's so many checkers of data from transferring from one vendor to the next in our industry. And if we can cut days, weeks off the cycle times, that is money to your bottom line. So it's in everybody's best interest to work together and to really collaborate and come together. I think this industry is one that's very small, but very large, right?
Absolutely.
So I think, identifying with the right folks and partnering up with the right companies that are really going to offer solutions for your company. That's what we're here. The best vendors out there are here to help you and work together.
Could not agree more. Well, Jen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Enjoy the rest of MBA. We only have a couple more hours left, but they're sure to be great ones.
Thanks for wrapping up with me. I appreciate it so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.